the dark maze of the city's sewer system. Far removed from their natural habitats, the alligators adapted to the labyrinth of pipes and drains. In the depths of the city's underbelly, they lived a hidden existence, seldom seen by human eyes, and grew to formidable sizes. Over the years, whispers of sewer workers encountering alligators circulated through the city. Some claimed to hear echoes of strange, slithering sounds in the darkness, while others swore they caught glimpses of the creature's gleaming eyes. Ultimately, regardless of whether or not they exist, the legend of sewer alligators persists. This is a testament to the enduring power of one form of classic American storytelling: urban legends, a type of folklore that tells an unusual or humorous story that is unlikely or impossible, but is widely believed and circulated. In this lesson, we'll examine 3 other popular forms of storytelling in order to answer our lesson essential question. How have popular forms of storytelling from the 1920s through 1940s influenced the way we share and tell stories today? We'll use these guiding questions to help you examine each type of storytelling. Who are the storytellers and who is the audience? What characteristics and features define this form of storytelling? And how did this form of storytelling emerge, and what factors influenced its development? Ready? Let's get to it! Campfire stories began as a tradition within military camps in the mid-19th century. With the creation of the Boy Scouts of America in 1910 and the Girl Scouts in 1912, campfire stories became a significant feature of American culture. So, what makes a story a campfire story? First and foremost, campfire stories are shared outdoors. They are, by definition, generally told around a campfire. The purpose of a campfire story is to engage the audience, often by creating tension and suspense. A good campfire story is short, providing just enough detail to inspire the audience's imaginations. Many campfire stories are about horror and the supernatural, tales of ghosts, monsters, or crazed axe murderers, who, coincidentally, have often been recently spotted nearby where the audience has made camp. Some campfire stories are inspired by indigenous folklore and mythology. As you learned in the first unit, indigenous stories, including creation stories and histories, were passed down orally and often dealt with themes relating to the natural world. Many of these have been adopted or, in many cases, modified and incorporated into the campfire tradition. Unlike poetry or classic literature, the value of campfire stories lies not in their writing or prose. What defines campfire stories is the associated traditions, like gathering the group around the fire, roasting marshmallows, huddling in blankets or sleeping bags, surrounded by silence and darkness, except for the flicker of flames and the pops and hisses of the firewood. Pause here to complete the guided notes for this section in your PDF. Film transformed storytelling by allowing filmmakers to tell stories using movement and innovate narrative techniques like flashbacks and montages to convey stories in more compelling and creative ways. In addition to adaptations that brought classic stories and literary works like Romeo and Juliet, Dracula, and The Count of Monte Cristo to new audiences, there were original screenplays that created new genres like westerns and provided opportunities for filmmakers to present their own perspectives on current social, political, and economic issues to broader and even international audiences. As the Hollywood film industry boomed in the 1930s, so did the significance of film within the cultural zeitgeist, or the defining spirit or vibe of a particular period of history. One of the most popular American genres of the era was film noir, a dark and suspenseful genre that features tough detectives, dangerous criminals, and the femme fatale, French for fatal woman, or the archetypal female character who uses her charm to lead men into dangerous or deadly situations. Film noir was inspired by the pessimism of the Great Depression, 2 world wars, and rising crime, particularly in major cities like Los Angeles. One of the most famous and enduring examples is the 1941 film adaptation of Dashiell Hammett's novel, The Maltese Falcon.
We were talking about a lot more money than this.
There are more of us to be taken care of now.
Well, that may be, but I've got the Falcon.
You may have the Falcon, but we certainly have you.
Another major breakthrough in the world of film was animation. Animation expanded the boundaries of storytelling by allowing for fantastical elements that might not be possible in live-action films, offering limitless potential for creativity.
I love a parade, the tramping of feet. I love every beat I hear of a drum.
Animation studios, including Walt Disney Studios and Warner Brothers, created some of the most recognizable characters in film history, including Mickey Mouse, Popeye, and Bugs Bunny, which remain cultural icons today. Pause here to complete the guided notes for film in your PDF. Though not unique to the United States, comics emerged as a distinct form of American storytelling in the 1930s and 40s. Whereas most printed storytelling media traditionally focuses on the written word and uses images sparingly, comics center visuals over written narratives. They also rely heavily on onomatopoeia, or words that represent sounds, dialogue, visual effects, and stylized imagery to convey movement and characters' emotions. The serialization, or regular releases, of comics also allows for a larger narrative to unfold over many issues, resulting in complex, long-term character development and intricate ongoing story arcs without the fear of losing the audience's attention. The so-called Golden Age of American comic books began in 1938 with the introduction of superhero comics, featuring still popular superheroes like Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman and Robin, Captain America, and The Flash. These superheroes possess superpowers or abilities beyond those of ordinary people, which allow them to frequently, easily, and inevitably triumph over the forces of evil. Superhero comics provide a form of escapism. The often clear-cut battles between good and evil, the predictability of the superhero's ultimate triumph, and themes of justice and resilience have offered hope and moral clarity in times of uncertainty. This golden age also saw the introduction of teen humor comics, a genre of comics that uses humor to depict the lifestyles, struggles, and interests of the American teenager. These comics are generally lighthearted and deal with issues related to dating, cars, friends, high school, and, of course, parents. The concept of the teenager emerged in the 1920s as a way to describe those who were no longer considered children, but weren't yet independent adults. In the 30s and 40s, teen culture became more clearly defined and distinct, which meant that products and stories aimed directly at teenagers became more available. One of the most iconic teen humor comic characters of the time was Archibald Archie Andrews, a lovable, clumsy, absent-minded, and goofy football player living in a small town. Archie and his friends represent many stereotypes associated with American teen culture. What teen stereotypes do you think would be associated with Archie and his friends if the comics had been created today? Pause here and jot down a few ideas in your PDF. The success of the Archie comics led to numerous spin-offs and adaptations, like the 2017 show Riverdale. Pause here to complete the guided notes for comics in your PDF. Each of these forms of storytelling emerged in response to their unique historical and cultural contexts. They each have offered distinctive narrative techniques and reached distinct audiences, influencing not only the stories we tell, but also the way we tell and consume them. Whether told by the flickering light of a campfire, through the flickering frames of a movie reel, or within the colorful panels of a comic strip, stories play a crucial role in reflecting and shaping our cultural identities. And every time we retell and share the stories we've heard and seen, we are contributing to the American storytelling tradition. So until next time, keep telling stories and making history.
Hey!